I'm Sebastian Wynn. I'm a Christian. I go to a Catholic church. I'm going to be talking about two visits to two different church services. And the first one I'd like to talk about is my church back at home, named St. Peter and Paul Catholic Church. It is a church that does service in all Vietnamese. The service is very organized. It runs about the same time, or runs about the same every time. Just different songs and readings, but the mass usually lasts around an hour to an hour and a half. Everyone's very welcoming. The service is almost the same. The service is always something new to learn. And at the end of each service, the priest will talk about the readings we all read, or that we read during the mass, and we'll explain the messages that was trying to get through, and explain how we can apply those to our daily lives. The next church I would like to talk about would be a Baptist church. It's called St. John Missionary Baptist. It's a Baptist church, which is in English. The service for this church is a lot. There's a lot of singing, and I mean a lot of singing. The people in the church are very warm and welcoming. They treated me like I was family when I went in. The service was very energetic and a lot of yelling, which I'm not really used to because the Catholic Church were very get it and go, we're done. And then the difference between the churches, one is a lot more of just a pastor preaching, and the Baptist one was the one that had the pastor preaching a lot, and it lasted a lot longer than the Catholic church, because the Baptist church, or that service that I went to for the Baptist church, lasted about, I'd say 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and the Catholic church lasts only an hour and a half. I heard that, or the friend that told me to go to this service for the Baptist church said that it can sometimes last even longer, 3.5 hours. It depends on how long the pastor will preach. Both churches, when I joined, both treated me like family when I first joined in, welcomed me with open hands, very warming. Both were really good services. They're both organized different in how the Baptist was more not free-formed, but it was mainly just the pastor preaching, instead of how the Catholic church, we would read. We would have two people do two readings, and then have the priest sum it up, and then talk about it after. But the Baptist, the pastor would just talk almost the whole way through, and then both choirs were very different. They're both really good, but the choir at the Baptist church was very active. They were singing, they sang almost the whole church, while in the Catholic church was very, we would do a reading and then we would sing. It was kind of like intervals, unlike the Baptist where they would sing almost the whole time. But another difference between the churches is that the pastor would speak a lot longer than the priest would, because the priest would maybe speak all together throughout the whole service of a Catholic service. It would maybe equal 30 minutes, 45 minutes. The other time, that half an hour would be us reading and just some other stuff. Both had a pretty big choir. Both had a lot of people in it. And both churches wanted to get through getting or spreading the word and love of God through us and to keep spreading it. And that's about all. That's about what I have from my experiences from both services.